All right, welcome back to the CS Summit 8. We're about to get into the second series of the day. Down in that lower bracket, it's going to be Plano versus EXTREMUM. And you can see on your screen, those are the ViBet odds. Wow, barely anything between these two teams. And you can also see the veto on your screen. Inferno first, that's going to be EXTREMUM's pick. I see you've raised your hand, Robin.
What the fuck? Plano is favorites to win this game? Who would have thought that from ViBet? That's insane. That is a curveball in my opinion, right? Like, especially, I mean, don't get me wrong, Plano's playing
we're in the game. Continue the point, yeah, sure.
No, yeah, we're in the game. Yeah, we're live. Boom. We see the maps there as well. I mean, no, but I mean, just in terms of Plano's a new team, yeah, they've played decently this event, but we cannot forget that EXTREMUM is definitely, you know, supposed to at least be favorites to win this, at least in my books. Sure, it might be close. We might be seeing another 3-mapper, but yeah, that's ViBet being nice, I feel like.
Yeah, Robin, there's only one reason they're favorites, and you might have caught it on the veto graphic. They have banned Nuke. They said it couldn't be done. They said that Nuke would always be a staple of our map pool, but it's gone. And that might finally favor Plano. It certainly helps in the pistol round. They're playing a whole new different map. Wow, who would believe it? Inferno, and the pistol goes their way.
Yeah, and just to talk about the veto, as we saw, EXTREMUM banning Overpass, Plano banning Nuke. Yeah, you're right there, Hugo.
That's a bit of a curveball. Though. I am so glad because, listen, it felt like it was just a stubbornness. And even after we watched another terrible performance on Nuke, Kogu sat there smiling, doing that interview, saying, no, we're going to keep working on Nuke. We're working on it a lot. Please, like, no. Like, enough was enough. I mean, you know, like, what was that? Was that like 6 in a row on Nuke?
I think we saw them play 5 in a row or something.
Yeah, let me.
They played
I'll
it yesterday too, right?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 6 losses in a row on Nuke. Like, mate, stop leaving it in the pool.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm glad to see it gone. About time, really. And EXTREMUM, they were the one who pulled that 10-1 comeback the other day on this map against the EXTRASALT side. So, yeah, I mean, that's something to keep in mind. Not a stranger to a recovery.
Yeah, I mean, to speak about EXTREMUM a little bit here at this event, I feel like they've had some ups and downs, but one of the things they've been pretty good on their mental state, I'd say. There has been some games that they have been on the back burner, but managed to come back. Also, another team that has been gradually getting better throughout this event. I don't think that a lot of people on this desk probably had them winning yesterday versus EXTRASALT. Oh, Benta as well. Fantastic entries onto this B-bomb side. Makes it a 3-on-3.
Yeah, this guy's a beast, right? Like, when JKS left this team, I feel like that's when everyone goes, it's dead, right? Like, there's no way this team's going to be able to recover without him. He was a star for so long. But, man, I mean, this is the exact guy we would want to fill those shoes, fill that void. It's been He's been looking so good.
It's not over yet, but it would be a fantastic round to win here if you're EXTREMUM. Astra goes down, 3-on-2 now. Oh, not looking likely. I say that Diaz with the first. Yes. Bomb is streaking down here, actually. So if he manages to get the diffuser here, I say that it's close.
I think
got it.
No time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, VSM, he went to grab the kit. It was on KNG's body in spawn. That's why in the 2-on-1, when Liaz gets that first kill, or the 3-on-1 rather, he's won the round. The kit's on the CT body. They got to jump past him to get it. A second would have made all the difference if either of the Coffins players had a kit. That's an Plano round for sure.
Yeah, that's 2 times I've been wrong now.
It is hard with custom HUDs, I think, especially when they're all different.
It looked like it was just going to tick over, but unfortunately that last tick wasn't there. And yeah, that is EXTREMUM picking that up. So got to say as well, Hugo, Liaz has had a lot of impact this, you know, down here in the lower bracket when the games got tough for them.
Full blind Azza.
He's playing Ray Charles Simulator, and it's working. He can tinkle those ivories, sir.
Yes. But to finish your point, Liaz, like there have been some great players that you know have been on downward trajectories, especially towards the latter end of last year. We saw a lot of 100 Thieves on their way out. Liaz, Grat, both struggling. Both have been incredibly impactful in the games we've seen here at Summit. If they can keep that up, then yeah, I mean, I've got EXTREMUM as favorites for this game. Love to see them take on Furia. That Furia v EXTREMUM, that was, well, 100 Thieves' last matchup as well in that final last year. So, yeah, nice little repeat. It's been some time. Right now, VSM's trying to retake, but oh, good luck. No kit
he's got
again.
that deagle, mate.
Has he got the knife and fork though? Because that's the most
I'm
important
sure
part.
that's going to be on standby. I am sure that's going to be on standby. And the thing is, if you look at the health as he creeps in, he is going to have to go quick though. But he can lay these guys out very quickly with the deagle. Doesn't even need to be headshots here. But yeah, he's maybe not giving himself enough time. And Liaz is going to close that one out. Oh, got to highlight VSM as well while we're talking about people who've had amazing tournaments. Obviously, for those who maybe haven't followed his story, back in the days when he was a kid, there was a VAC ban, you know, whatever. Don't need to dwell on that. As he grew up, he was playing competitively, but because of the rules around Valve and VAC bans essentially disqualifying you for life from Valve tournaments, we were watching one of the great Brazilian talents essentially slip away, and then Valve have gone and revised their rules mercifully, thankfully, and respect to Valve for doing that. And now what a treat it's been here in an RMR to watch VSM play. For me, one of the players who's absolutely shined this tournament, and no matter what happens with Plano, VSM comes out of this incredibly high stock. One of the best players in Brazil, no question.
Absolutely, yeah.
No, I couldn't agree more, Richard, man. Like, I've loved every single moment we've had from him. Like, I love this style of play that he goes for, right? I think out of everyone on this team, if there was someone that, like, you know, KNG was just going to look down the line and say, all right, look, we're going to do our thing. You just go give us like a really heroic moment. You just try and do something ridiculous. VSM is usually that guy, right, that you look to for that. And also off camera, he's been a delight. You know, you factor in that this is the RMR, right? This is like the events that VSM would have never have been at if it weren't for the rule change, man. We wouldn't have had like the knife and fork moment. We wouldn't have had, you know, some of these great bits we've had in the server. So yeah, man, it does kind of make me a bit emotional seeing him here at this event and looking so damn good. Like, this just wouldn't have been a possibility, you know, like looking back a couple of years.
Yeah. And, you know, look, think about the standards those guys have set themselves as well. I mean, you know, they said they absolutely need to get to the major. They said they haven't been even thinking about getting an organization, getting salaries together, getting investors together. They just want to focus on making sure they're at the biggest CS tournament. And that would be the sort of completion of the redemption arc for a lot of these players, right? I mean, look, again, I don't mince my words. Some of these players, the shenanigans they've been involved in, not exactly a credit to the sport, right? But we all make mistakes. We're all human. We all have errors of judgment. We all have moments that we wouldn't want to be judged by for the rest of our lives. And I've seen an incredible development and maturity out of guys like KNG, out of Henny, out of VSM. They've been a joy to watch, really. And, you know, I'm starting to warm up to them. I'm starting to want the best for them.
This is the most pro-Brazil I've ever heard.
I really feel that as well, right? Like, it's been this feeling of like watching them develop throughout every single phase. Because let's not forget, like, they were here, like with you know, your pains, your extra shots, all the way back in that first stage, and they're still fighting. They're trying to blaze this trail to the grand final. And when they came in on day one and they said, look, our goal is to get to the major, and they were having that big celebration after beating Triumph, I was kind of, you know, almost laughing at myself, like, really? Like, you know, you're going to say all this after taking down one of the easier teams in this side of the event? But no, bro, it's been so hard to not buy in to this Plano story, man. I find myself wanting the best for these guys through and through.
Just little moments as well, you know, when the cameras are there. I mean, again, great work to the Summit production team in difficult circumstances, but the moments they've been able to capture, whether it's the now already iconic knife and fork celebration or them, you know, waving Brazilian flags after every game, you know, they've brought a real energy to this. And I think at a time when I think some people take their existence for granted in terms of them being included at things like majors. It's refreshing to see a team that reminds you what this is all about, that, you know, to the victor, the spoils, no guts, no glory, that every victory is hard fought and it means something.
Yeah, I mean, we said that a lot, right? Back in the day, we didn't compete for
not for the
high
money,
salaries or for the money, right? We just competed because we just want to win tournaments, want to be the best. And I think that goes away a little bit. Same can be said. Shout out to North American scene, right? Bad News Bears. Triumph now, I was gonna say, it wasn't the org, not anymore. Bad News Bears, teams like that are actively playing, competing, getting better.
Yeah, you've touched on something.
The results have to. Yeah, I just like, you know, for people that's just like, oh, give us an org. It's just like, listen, prove it. You know what I mean? Like, why should people give you their hard work, you know, hard-earned money, right? They're expecting something in return. It's hard work and dedication.
But I think that's why I've probably enjoyed this event as much as I have, right? And we will get on to the hot action that's happening on the server in a minute. But we are setting the table for what will almost certainly be a best of 3 in the small hours. So, but you know, I think why I've enjoyed this is it has imbued the spirit of what early Counter-Strike was about, right? You've got teams that don't have orgs here. You've got teams from, you know, MDL looking to make a name for themselves. You've got teams that couldn't have even conceived of being in a major a year ago, fighting for that now. And it's been good. It's been good to see. Good to get away from all the snooty pretension of European Counter-Strike for a moment or two and get back to some grassroots. And that's what this has been. So I think it's been a fantastic experience, and I've enjoyed every moment of it.
Wow, that was lovely.
Yeah.
That was like a real, you know, shout-out love story to South American and North American Counter-Strike. So
look,
let's
Brazil,
delve
the
in.
land of the hat. It's you know, close to my heart, mate.
It is, and I'm with you on that, man. Here we go, right? We got a little 2-on-2. We talk about grassroots. Well, now we need lead by roots, mate. We need some reggae sauce on this round. But it will actually be EXTREMUM getting it over the line. 4 up on the board. That's a bit of a niche reference that I don't know many people are going to get. It's one singular Dragon's Den contestant.
This sauce got made. I've got a bottle of that at the back of my fridge.
It is good. It is actually
I'm not a fan,
sauce.
actually. I'm not a fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
no, I like it.
It's at the back of my fridge for a reason, mate. All iced up.
Just collecting, like, absolute
sink the
mush
Titanic.
in the bottom.
Yeah, it's not for me, that.
Harry's a bit of a hot sauce.
See, I love hot
aficionado.
sauce.
I do love hot sauce.
Yeah, that blend is there's something.
No,
about
it is a very unique flavor to it, right? Like, it's not for everyone. It's kind of like a mixture of sweet and hot, which is like a very interesting combo. The bombs drop. This is a vanilla pistol.
KNG killed his teammate through the wall of the apps. I don't know how. He was down the hallway. He must have been shooting at someone else. That's unbelievable. Just a headshot through the wood. And it gets a bit dicey, sure, but EXTREMUM still come out with a round. Oh, maybe I'm speaking too soon. That's a dirty kill from Henny. Boiler player keeps it under lock. Orb saved, and the round as well. 5 up on the board here for EXTREMUM.
Yeah,
we've already
stable
seen
so far. Double up here now, though, for KNG and Henny. Some nades to that. This has really been their bread and butter, this event, I'd say. Has been one of the reasons why they've been getting wins on the board. It's been very refreshing to see. Both KNG and Henny has had some good series. Not a lot of nades here on this B-bomb site to be holding off the EXTREMUM end. If it does go late round, they're going to be in trouble. See a bit of a slower round. Just some map control being taken by EXTREMUM. As I pointed out, double up setup from Plano, so Not super aggressive this time around. KNG gets smoked off now as well. It's not really what you want to see when you do have that double AWP setup. You are looking for these entries. Don't want to be trying to retake a bomb site with 2 of them still up.
Yep.
And as I mentioned here, EXTREMUM has done a really good job here throughout this whole round. Like they've taken over Banana, they've taken over mid now. For Plano, because they don't have a lot of utility, they haven't been able to fish for information. Looks like a full-blown BXEC here, without any nades left now on the Plano side. It's going to be a very difficult hold, but I say that Leo with 2.
Bombs dropped. Leo's not giving him anything until he gets hunted down by Liaz, and it's him and Jacob to try and 2v5 this round. The smokes are gone. The bomb is out in the open. Got to hope the kills get given your way, but Henny hits his shot, and Liaz now overwhelmed by the sheer amount of AWPs in that bomb site. It's going to be another one taken by the Brazilians.
Yeah, and just to sort of add some context to this, if you're a little bit confused as to why Plano are playing Inferno. You know, obviously they finally have agreed that Nuke isn't going to work. And they took Nuke out. They banned Nuke. They didn't want to play it, which is wise against EXTREMUM, who do play it, do pick it. And this kind of means what we're about to see from Plano is kind of think of it like jazz. It's going to be a lot of freeform. They haven't played a lot of Inferno. In fact, they have 1 win on Inferno. And it was for the qualifiers for this event. And it was against a team called Party Astronauts. So... you know, they are entering uncharted territory themselves.
Oh, where's that come from? Bentesh just got a shot through the smoke, and now EXTREMUM, who have flashed off and backed out, have pushed in with 2 kills. KNG forced out, and it might just have to be a save from the get-go. This was never around for EXTREMUM. They got lit up at the top of B.
But you can see they don't play it, Hugo, right? Because they don't know how to respond to the utility that's coming in. You know, they're losing the site with a couple of flashes and a couple of smokes.
Yeah, right. Like, that is the scary thing. You get rid of Nuke, sure, very tactical map, very hard and heavy map to call on that T side. But, man, on this map, you know, you're not going to get any freebies, CT or T. You've been saying a lot this event, like, this map's T-sided just due to the economy, and that's really what we've seen in so many of these games. So, yeah, it's a little worrying. We'll get a nice test of Plano, see what their procedures are, see how their rotates are. But... yeah, already some hard B hits for EXTREMUM, and they've really paid off. 5-bet odds already flipping.
Too easy. It's been too easy. And, you know, look, the problem you have, just to go through our greatest hits, on this map, you cannot do that. If you get in on the CT side, if you keep giving up these rounds, you're never going to get into the game because you won't have the money. Sometimes they have to get it together and be able to hold the site.
Yeah, luckily you have some really explosive AWPers on Plano, so if you were looking to kind of thin the herd early, send out KNG for an early mid pick, or get that banana control, like, you've got great players to do that. You've got good pieces here in Plano, but yeah, not the experience for sure, as of late at least. And
it's not like they're the only team to struggle with that, right? Still think that a lot of people are trying to figure out that.
It looks like EXTREMUM's game plan is just to abuse this B bomb site again. Jacob is running back. Boiler player hears that, but you can see everyone's pushed up a porch. No one can rotate quickly. KNG's trying to do it, but EXTREMUM are getting ready to explode B. They've been re-smoked. More than enough utility to get in. They could throw 2 executes for all they're concerned, but KNG is here in time at least. Jacob getting given the AWP.
I mean, this is where it gets really dangerous, right? If Plano doesn't manage to hold a round like this, 3 members here, we have Jacob down on 7 HP. Sure, not a lot of utility, but even with KNG missing these bullets, if anything, it kind of sells the fake even more.
Yeah, they're ready for 2 more in the site. Henny's gone from a molly. They hunt KNG down, and they clear Leo for the back of New Box. It could not have gone worse for Plano.
But look how good EXTREMUM does that. Yeah, but look at how good they do that as well. They throw their nades. There's nothing. Plano's essentially dry. EXTREMUM just walks into there, takes their time, gets all of these one-on-one duels that they just so want. Only lose 1 member out of that. Yes, now it gets dangerous for a Plano, right? Because now you're talking about, my man, like, they need to get banana control, even if it is, you know, throwing nades early, just to get an AWPer out there to do some damage. To your point, Hugo, that was even with an entry behind them, right? And still don't manage to hold that. Yeah, this is dangerous stuff. We could use a timeout here and just talk about it. Need some fresh ideas here over at the B-bomb site.
Yeah, right. I mean, this was always going to be scary, if I'm being honest. Right? I think and this is something we spoke about a lot with Nuke, you know, looking how it does. You know, you were always going to have a problem having a couple of maps that you don't really play. You know, I like the decision to try and leave Nuke out, but the one problem you were going to have is that for EXTREMUM, Inferno, man, this map, back when they were 100 Thieves, it used to be their bread and butter. Right? It used to be a really good map for them. It wasn't until kind of Katowice in 2020 where we saw them start to develop a bit of a losing streak habit on this map. But since, you know, JKS's departure, joining Extreme and bringing Quintet in, they've worked to try and bring this back up to the standard it was on the old 100 Thieves. It is a map that they are right at home on. And, you know, with Plano, as we've kind of alluded to, not really playing this map all too much, this must start to feel very, very awkward, right? It's like, you've got one team where this was like the map, right? Like, this was one of the go-tos. And on the other side, don't get me wrong, right? All pros can actually play all maps, obviously. But as a team, you know, as this 5, this isn't one that they've leaned into heavily in officials at all. And officials play out so differently. It's mind-blowing. I always feel the need to clarify that. When you're saying, like, oh yeah, these guys don't play Inferno, it's like, well, obviously, you know, they play every map. But as a team, not so much.
Had a chance to say hi to the boys on Tuesday.
Yeah, they said they're at your place, right?
Yeah, they're playing from the Dignitas office. They're definitely working on some things. They weren't just fooling around. Kassad was giving them some directions. They were not practicing, they were dry running some things. So definitely staying active here during their visit in North America, even if maybe they're not finding as much practice as that you would in Europe. There's still ways of improving, still ways of working on some of the issues you're having on the server.
Yeah, and they've got another super cool story, right? We've focused a lot on Plano, but EXTREMUM, a new organization. You know, we've made some jokes at their expense about their manifesto, and they've enjoyed that and leaned into it. But on a serious note,
they produce some banger content.
Yeah, they've got a really good content team. But, you know, think about all the orgs like EXTREMUM, Extra Salt, all these new orgs coming in and picking up these players and enabling them to compete. You know, obviously we're rooting for you. The ecosystem needs you. So,
absolutely. Yeah, shout out to their content team. Be sure to check it out. They are doing some stuff while they're here in LA.
Harry absolutely loves that content because there's so much of it focused on Azza. Harry's got his own little secret stash on his laptop.
I do like it. Azza is like a proper good front man to have as well, right? Like, he's
totally.
Just so lovable, you know. I think everyone just wants a little bit of Azza in their life. Oh, Grat was holding for that peak, and he gets rewarded handsomely. There's still a double setup here, right? Henny playing in tandem.
Oh, but look at this. You can see so many gaps, right, from this dominant T side so far from EXTREMUM. They're just like walking up, especially when KNG goes down there. That's why you don't see them rushing in, because they know KNG doesn't tend to be banana. He's actually the worst person to die in this situation, because it allows this to kind of happen. You know that he tends to hold arch. 20 seconds, doesn't matter at this point. Give it 5 more seconds. Maybe you won't see that, but maybe you'll see a double. Oh, you won't see that either. It doesn't matter.
He was blocked by the first guy, but...
And here's the thing about Inferno, right? Like, it's very easy, especially as a player, and you don't see it, right? But while you're on the server, that you don't notice that, hey, man, actually, well, like, we're not doing anything on the CT side. We're just playing defensive, and, like, Extreme are just walking all over us. That's where the timeout tends to be okay, right? When you're like, hey, wait a minute, is no one peeking anything? Are we not going for entries anywhere? Do we not have like a somewhat of an aggressive setup to try and fish for an entry? Oh, we don't? Okay, well, we gotta fix that. We got to take some more gambles. If the defaults that you have are not working, we have to be willing to take some more risks.
If they can get to touching distance. Sorry, Harry, go on, mate.
No, I was just going to say, I think that's one of the issues, right? With like not playing the map too much officially is like one of the problems is that you maybe feel more hesitant on calling like these aggressive stances, and even when you do, like you can guarantee they're not going to be as polished as someone like EXTREMUM when they make those same calls in their CT side, right? It's like for EXTREMUM, they've played this in hundreds of officials, you know, like they've really got it down pat. They know that if they're going to go for like mid aggression, well, they know what the responsibility are in every single, you know, like player who's dedicated to that right away. Whereas for Plano, you know, it can feel, as Richard said, a bit like jazz, right? In that it is like very, very free form. You're trying to do it on the fly, and so it's always going to be a little bit messier.
Oh, and this is a perfect play. Triple B out of the gate, and they're running up mid as well. Even the B players missed their molly. EXTREMUM, will they commit fully? Doesn't look like it. Plano not wavering on this triple B yet. In fact, that may be the right call, because EXTREMUM are going right back into it. KNG is sat back on long. Henny instead, AWPing in Banana. Waiting on a close peek. He's going to get it, maybe even a boost. Oh, he goes out, and he grabs one. Henny backing up to the site at least.
Oh, Lucas rotates. I wonder if timing will be in their favor. It's another entry for Plano here. Still plenty of nades for EXTREMUM, but not enough mollies, so we might actually just see a walk in here instead. Bit of an explosion play. And no one's peeking yet, so there we go. Finally.
That's more like it.
Yeah. Looking like a good hold here for Plano. They hit their shots. Say that, Henny goes down, but Lucas another one through the smoke. It's a lot of money here though on EXTREMUM's end. These rounds haven't really been that close for EXTREMUM. At least something to be happy about. We look to continue on this trend now. I feel like we need the last 2 rounds. Plano. And yeah, EXTREMUM, keep on going back. A lot of focus on this B-bomb side. Now with finally a round on the board for Plano, we'll see if maybe EXTREMUM will go for a fake. Maybe they feel like, man, we should have won that round. They might go back to it. I might see a little bit more focus towards that A-bomb site for the last 2 rounds. Oh, a lot of damage being done here early as well. Master.
Bursting back up B. CT's trying to hold what util they have. Henny still with a full belt. Leo still has his molly smoke. So expecting more of these B plays. I can't blame them. That's all we've really seen out of EXTREMUM so far. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Molly comes in, keeps EXTREMUM out for a moment. But they weren't trying to commit either. They have 2 players still back in the mid side. Azra on the AWP.
Yeah, it feels like they are expecting something. The problem here is that they haven't really seen anyone, and since EXTREMUM, they're just patiently waiting. A lot of nades utility are being wasted here by Plano. We are back to that B play. This is going to be a little bit more difficult though. Lucas is not here to help them out, and EXTREMUM has done a good job in making this late round, so not a lot of nades left either. Marked by Henny. We saw the same play actually being done by EXTREMUM a few rounds ago when they actually did have the stack onto B, smokes on sites, and killed the CT guy instead. Again, really good job on the choke. No reason to get flustered or stressed in that situation for if you're EXTREMUM. 17 seconds for these smokes to kind of fade, so plenty of time.
It's getting better by the second. Don't want to peek the AWP in CT, but otherwise Liaz is grabbing heads, finally put down by Lucas. Time half ticked. Any movement here would be a mistake, but Azza just swings KNG as he leaves the angle. Lucas now needing the clutch, and he can't get past Azza with a no-scope headshot, wall bang, 10th round. He's got it all.
Yeah, man, no, this is a very, very good EXTREMUM. This is, man, both of, oh, man, it's another one of these horrible games where, like, you know, no matter who wins, we're all losers in the sense that, like, you've got to love the stories behind both of these teams, right? Like, this is unreal what we're getting out of EXTREMUM. After a pretty underwhelming time over in EU, my expectations weren't set very high for the boys, and yet they have surprised us every single step of this journey. Like, Buntet, I think, has been incredible. I love Buntet as a player, as his story. I love that he's come together with a group of people who are in a similar / like relatable situation to him.
Yeah,
and is finding success.
Yeah, Buntet's actually, you know, out of the top 8 rated players at this event, Buntet's the only one, you know, in this matchup who's in that spot in the top 8. He's top 4 or 4th.
There's an old podcast of mine you'll be able to dig up where I actually say, this is when he first came through at Tyloo, I'm like, that guy has got the talent to be top 20 player, like, at the end of the year. And it just, for whatever reason, the teams he's always played on have always kind of, like, disintegrated.
That podcast was only 2 episodes after the one that you said that Buntet will never achieve anything, right, Richard? Because you play both sides, don't you?
That's how I do it, yeah. Quite famously, you might remember, basically, I said, I did an episode where I was talking about Issa, and I said, lol, who's this guy? Why would you pick him up? He's terrible. And we're going to a break. This anecdote's ruined.
Peace.
They do have a plan. They do. Just maybe not on Inferno. Or am I wrong? Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be BTS here unless we get another close series, though. It's not giving this one to EXTREMUM just yet. That was a really good T-side, though. Hugo said it. Why fix something that's not broken? Those P hits. Some dangerous stuff. That's a lovely little headshot from Grat as well to start off this second pistol round.
Lots of damage done on both sides, though. Azza will be at the beating of KNG on this A-Rap. 2 more CTs here. Buntet, oh, the big flank, and the double headshot. Grat steals the first, but both kills come in. Grat will die out of nowhere, and Liaz in the pit has lit them up with lots of lead. Clean round for EXTREMUM. The B flank was in. The rotate was early from Buntet. Yeah. Doesn't really get much better than that.
Well, incredibly, Plano are combining the worst elements of their nuke performances and putting them into a very unpleasant hole here because they haven't had a great CT side, and that T-sided pistol looked a little bit lackadaisical, if we're being honest about it. So, really up against it now. There's EXTREMUM. They might have to change their manifesto after this. People might say, you are the best esports organization. Maybe not.
That will come as like a real day of pride when they change that on the website, won't it? Not the world's best, and then you get to remove the not, and everyone's celebrating.
Yeah, but then the sponsors ring up. We didn't get into sponsoring EXTREMUMs.net to be associated with excellence. This is outrageous. We've never been so offended, and we withdraw all of our support right now immediately. Don't know why I'm doing that voice, actually. There was no need for a voice there.
You're the one pulling the strings.
I am.
Pulling the contracts.
The puppet master, they call me.
Yep. You got your hand right up there, and you're making them talk.
Not that kind of puppet, string puppets, mate.
Ah, okay. Right.
Not sock puppets. What am I? Babby's first puppeteer. It's just a sock with eyes.
This is graduated to the hard stuff, right?
That like, really is, mate.
He's got the strings out. It's like Punch and Judy, man. It's something Only good for one.
Couldn't wait long enough.
Bentet's having a lurk, isn't he? And when Bentet's lurking, the gun is working.
That's what they say. Good old Bentet, man. What a guy.
Yeah. 2 kills, gets himself an upgrade as well. Yeah, I mean, it's only been 2 rounds here. It's a bit of a force buy last round for Plano. That's gonna work out. Maybe we'll see some P250s. No, I'm not a fan of this. Sure, we're hoping that the pistol will do some damage, but would have preferred maybe a flash or smoke.
Is this not live?
Yeah.
Or is this just them talking?
No, I think. Maybe,
oh, look, they're huddling up. They're huddling up.
All right, boys.
Game timeout.
Here's the plan, right? It's not looking good right now.
Yep.
But just you wait.
Turns out we should have bloody practiced Inferno. But don't worry. If we sit in spawn, they might come down here and we might get some guns. All right, lad. No. Now, who's got the Sambuca? Yep.
KNG does. They're trying to find it. They're trying to grab it off him. He's running. Oh.
Well, that's one way to cure a hangover, Hugo.
They all just take another shot. Hair of the dog. One more shot, and there it is. 13-5. Easy does it right now, right? We're waiting for those guns to come out, of course. Want to see what Plano have to show us in these rifle rounds, but I'm getting a little concerned.
Yep. Do you know where that saying comes from? Hair of the dog?
No.
No.
It's a medieval English belief that if you were bitten by a rabid dog, that's a dog with rabies, a horrible condition, you could cure it if you ingested the hair of the dog that bit you.
When in reality, now we know that's actually a fast track to more rabies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to say bite the dog back or something, you know?
No, that's from the man bites dog anecdote about what makes news. Yeah, dog bites man, that's not news. Man bites dog, that is news. All journalists know that phrase, of course. Now, if you are worried about rabies, that isn't a cure. Don't do that. Go and see a doctor as soon as possible. But best is just have jabs and just make sure you don't go near any animals displaying any symptoms of rabies, like, you know, they've got an Alka-Seltzer in the mouth or whatever.
Look at this. EXTREMUM doing a really good job on the street.
Robin, I do appreciate you being here so much.
Yeah, but listen, why are you trying to break me then? You know what I mean?
I reacted. I wasn't like, hey, Robin.
This wasn't like on your day off. We all got together, like, oh, hang on a minute, Mike. We're planning how we're going to break Robin when he gets back, right? What we'll do is talk about rabies, Titanic, and we'll force Robin to be the segue guy for the entire broadcast.
I did realize that there's no segue guy when I'm not around.
Oh yeah, you know, we didn't think it was going to be as bad as it was, but then yesterday happened, and it was worse than I think anyone could have anticipated. There was just no one steering the ship, man.
Hey, I tuned in. It was lovely.
It was definitely this. Yesterday was easily the silliest broadcast. What's funny is yesterday was basically what a summit usually is. But we've been about, I'd say, 80% focused on the game, 20% focused on the Titanic, rabies, you know, nonsense, quantum physics, cuckoldry.
I can't even remember what we talked about the first few days. Honestly, it's been so long.
But people don't, because of recency bias, of course. People think that we're actually not doing what Summit wants us to do, which, of course, we are. Mr. Summit is listening. And he's been very happy.
We certainly hope. We tell ourselves.
That's not the feedback I've been getting. One more warning, Robin, and you're
that's just you.
Yeah,
Robin's on warning.
That's why we were like, oh, bloody
You want to
better
look
let
about
Robin
the
do the
game?
segue.
I'm talking way too much about the game. You know, they're
That's
like, what
clearly
the? This is not the intent. This is not why you're here.
One thing I will say, and I hope this is how it feels, is that, like, you know, with a bit more shit talking going on every now and again, whenever we do like really home in on a storyline point, I feel like because we've been thinking about it for like 2 or 3 rounds, you know, how we actually want to break it down. We've got some good storylines going on.
You're just pumping us up now, Harry. You're just...
Hell yeah, I'm pumping us up, man.
No,
I'm not
listen,
letting it be all.
I'll pump you up.
Doom and gloom.
I'll be the Flavor Flav. I'll be the hype man here.
Oh.
And I'll say this about you guys, right? Because I've listened to your cast obviously before. I'm aware of who you are. It wasn't a surprise.
Oh, thanks.
When I got hired. But when you're, because of how we're doing the work and we're sat on a Discord with each other and I'm intently listening to everything you're saying quite fastidiously so I can jump in if needed or whatever. It honestly, like, you guys are fucking sick at your job, like 100%.
Oh man,
I appreciate
you're
that,
so
Richard.
lovely, bro.
So
It's really nice.
You're actually pretty damn good at your job too. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that, Rich, but I appreciate it.
Not in esports. You know, back when I used to run that flea circus, that was
those were the golden years, right? As
step right up, come and see the amazing Flea Dini.
Flea Dini, and he's gone. Where is he?
He can escape from anything because he's not even there to begin with.
Look at this tiny cage with these massive holes between the bars.
And Elise
The
says,
cage
"What?
is so small, so he must be in there. Why else would I have made such a tiny cage?
Surely
see?
not for the purposes of deception in exchange for money."
No.
Oh well, look at this VSM. He's in a small cage of his own making as well, right down here, a banana trap.
Oh,
Quintet doubling up. And right now, EXTREMUM just 3 kills away from a very, very dominant first map of Inferno here.
yeah, quick molly drop. They are just scavenging right now, looking for smokes on bodies, upgrading into AKs. They've got 1 flash to play with in this round. It could be the end of this Inferno bout. Only 1 man in the A site. Az is up on long, but they can't smoke him off on the moto, leaving Liaz in the pit with a lot to do. Flash goes in, doesn't do a lot though. Az spots 1 on long. He's got to keep his gun out. Liaz has dropped the bomb, and if he's not traded, this is a done deal. Az has gone. Liaz with another, and it's only KNG 1v3, all to do, nothing to do it with, and that is a dominant win for EXTREMUM, 16-5 on their map pick in the series. We have to head to Dust 2 and see if Plano have any response. But first, a break. Join us in a moment.